What happened? Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The most important topic, work-life balance. I'd be happy if you all get seated. We'll start the session. It's quite common that you're always on time for meeting, but late for birthdays at home. Your boss will forget your overtime, but your family will remember your absence. Your office can replace your days, your family can't replace you ever. Do your job, but don't make it your life. They'll find another employee, your kids will not find another you. Remember, perfect people don't exist, and perfect people, if they existed, would be very boring. It is imperfection that keeps life interesting. कहते हैं रिश्तों में वक्त दीजिए, बड़े बड़े तोहफे में नहीं, ताजमहल दुनिया ने देखा, मुमताज ने नहीं. So ladies and gentlemen, let us not be Mumtaz and let us see the Taj Mahal ourselves. So to start with, I am requesting the coordinator, Khairvili, to sum up the earlier resolution.
Good evening to all. It's a pleasure to be here today to talk about something that has become increasingly important in our fast-paced world, work-life balance. At the core of work-life balance is the idea that we can succeed in both professional and personal lives without one sacrificing the other. As police officers, we face a unique set of challenges, often demands long hours, emotional resilience, and the ability to stay alert. Whether it's during a crisis, an investigation, or even just keeping the peace, that it can sometimes feel like there's little left for yourself or your loved ones. Let us now look at some key aspects of work-life balance. Balancing professional and personal life is critical for police officers' health and effectiveness. Challenges unique to police officers and work. Long hours and emotional resilience are daily demands. Officers must stay alert during crises and investigations. We have to set boundaries, know when to say no, recognize limits, and step away when needed. Protect personal time ourselves. Maintain clear separation between work and home. First, we have to prioritize our time management. Use tools like calendar and planners help control your schedule. Be flexible. Balance means adapting, not rigid scheduling. Make time for yourself. Regularly engage. We have to schedule our time ourselves in hobbies, exercise or meditation. Spend our quality time with loved ones and reduce isolation. Let us now look at some key recommendations from the previous conferences. Out of 10 conferences held previously, 5 included recommendations on improving work-life balance. Key recommendations from second national conference, which was held in Missouri, Uttarakhand. Dual roles. We are playing a dual roles, so we need a support. Support women officers balancing work and home roles. Flexible rostering. Explore flexible work schedule and maternity benefits. Child care. Provide crashes and counseling for recruit and families. Mandatory. It's a mandatory for children, child care facilities at police lines and training units. These are all the recommendations from the second conference. Safe environment. Infrastructure adapted for women and retention prioritized. Standardized leaves should be given. Maternity and child care leave as per the central government norms. Counseling the programs for recruits and their families to enable better appreciation of the demands of a police career. In the 4th National Women's Conference held at Bhubaneswar, the following recommendations are given. Crashes may be provided wherever women are posted in large numbers. Child care leave on the pattern of Government of India may be given by all state police organizations. Flexible working conditions, part-time work including job sharing and flex time may be considered. Certain jobs such as data entry into computers may be identified for this purpose. Women can be given postings near the postings of their husband as far as possible, irrespective of the type of employment of the husband. In the 6th National Conference, which was held in Guwahati, the following recommendations were given. There are also same set of points, that is supporting system such as creches and childcare facilities be made mandatory, at least one in each police line and battalion headquarters. Maternity leave and childcare leave be standardized in all states as per central government norms. Apart from that, they recommended about the infrastructure. Equipment and furniture are adopted for use of women in proportional to their numbers. Retention of trained women is given priority by enabling infrastructure and policies for safe environment. This is the 7th National Conference which was held in Gurgaon. Recommendations are support networks. Flexible work should be given. That is, implement flexi hours, job sharing and remote assignments. Facilities, provide 100, including for children, medical education and transport facility. Recognition, make women police work visible and reward achievements. 6-year fixed tenure to be permitted at least twice during career as per choice so that education of the children does not suffer. Childcare leave and paternity leave in accordance with the central government norms. Stationary duty at the early stage of motherhood and in the crucial years of children's education, that is 10th and 12th grade. Permit women posted in the border outposts to live with their children. Increase the strength of the Mahila battalion by 25% to cater for child care, maternity leave so that undue pressure of extra work does not fall on the remaining police personnel. This is a conclusion, that is previous conference held in Himachal is a 10th national conference that recommendations are work-life balance is vital for all police personnel, proactive policies and family accommodations improve well-being. Women officers who have small children should be allowed to keep them during training. The above facility may also be provided to women police officer. Balance is not a one-size-fits-all formula. It's a personal journey for finding what works best for each of us. The key is recognizing that we are human people with careers, relationship, health and passions. And each of these deserves attention and care. A harmonious work-life balance is essential not only for professional success but also for personal well-being and fulfillment. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Kairvili. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very famous speaker amongst us, Tirumati Rohini Maliti. She's actor by profession and has got lots more to her profile. Most of her movies were a women-centric movie. In a movie, she had mentioned this in Tamil, which I would like to say in Hindi. Life ne upar niche daye baye sab jagah se aisa mara, tab jaake ye masterpiece ubhar ke aaya. So she is such a sweet masterpiece who has been what the life is. Ladies and gentlemen, I request Srishti to please read the profile of the speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Our next speaker is more than an actress. She is symbol of resilience, empowerment, and bold womanhood. A role model who lives what she portrays on screen. We are honored to welcome Ms. Rohini Mulati ma'am, an extraordinary artist who began her journey as a child actor at age 5 and has acted in over 300 Indian films. She has worked with legendary directors like Balu Mahendra, Kamal Hassan, Rajamouli, Bharatan. Madam has received National Award, Special Mention for Best Actress, Telugu film, Stree, 1996. Madam has also received Andhra Pradesh Nandi Award, Tamil Nadu Kalai Mamani Award in 2010. Madam has also directed 7 short films, 3 commercials, a documentary titled Silent Hues under the production house of Radhaswamy Enterprises. Madam is currently directing her first Tamil film. Her other achievements include hosting live talk shows for Star Vijay TV, writing TV scripts, adapting Sahitya Akademi award-winning novel Virakku Neer into a telefilm. We are honored to welcome you, ma'am, here. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear all. I'm so honored to be here in this 11th National Conference of Women in Police 2025. And I am really, really happy to see you all, the women who stand for us. And first and foremost, I acknowledge your relentless, selfless work. Thank you so much. Because as a lay person, we always think if something bad happens to us, we can call this person, police. They will come and help us. And I have seen that many times. And there are many friends here who have helped us for the film industry when there were some investigations for ICC. And I really hope all of you all here listening to me, a layperson who has come to talk to you about how to balance work and family. I take this opportunity to bring forth my personal opinions, and I hope it resonates with you. So, there is a famous comedy scene in a Tamil film. In the comedy scene, Kaundamani and Sendil, there is a woman who brings a Petromax light. Sendil takes the bulb and by mistake he breaks it. And Kaundamani is really worried and he asks the woman, "Unakku Petromax light e dhaan veduma? Can I give you something else?" And the woman says firmly, "Ama, Petromax light e dhaan venum." The women who are sitting here said something like that. Yes, I want both work and family. So when we did that firm yes, this is how brought us here, riding on both the boats, family and work. So, some time ago, there are many questions when we have chosen to work. Do you really want to work? What about all the chores at home? What about the upbringing of children? Yes, we do everything, but we still want to work. I want to take you all to an earlier time. In the hunting society, women went hunting for 7 days. Men would go hunting for 2 or 3 days. When the mother went hunting, then no language was formed and there were no songs or stories. All women used to hold their children in their left hand and they will be plucking fruits or whatever, and they will be eating or they will be feeding the child. That is how the scientists say that we have developed the right hand, usage of right hand has been developed because the woman always had a child in the left hand. But the ritual of both sexes managing the house was there earlier. But that has disappeared and it has become a service by women folk to all the others in the household. we should do மங்கையார் பிறப்பதற்கே மாதவம் செய்திட வேண்டும் அப்படின்னு பாரதியார் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. We should do good madhavam, just be born as girls, said Bharati. Yes, as women who came to this earth after doing such penance, we have come to do the work 5 people can do with 10 hands in today's environment. For me, I think that it is a great help to our families. Actually, we will be doing them a great help if we loosen the stubborn belief that women only can do certain work in the house and start practicing like you all delegate. I have seen so much of delegation happening here. The same kind of delegation, if it happens in all the work amongst the family members, I think we will be achieving equality, true equality. This will actually help the boys in our families to grow up independently, because they are relying on us. Wherever they go, boys are always relying on a woman to do their work. But actually, we have to bring up independent boys, and then they treat women equally. Writer Sa Tamilselvan, he has written an article. In this article, there were many articles written about working women talking about their guilt by not being at home to do certain things. So one woman shared with guilt that she is making her father-in-law wait for a cup of coffee. He will only have cup of coffee when I make it. And I go back late sometimes, and I feel really guilty. So Sa Tamilselvan very bravely said, why don't you suggest to your father-in-law to take an initiative and prepare a cup of coffee when you get back from your work and offer it to you, and that way the relationship could be many times happier. We never ask. He said, please ask what you want in your houses. We should at least develop such attitudes, he says. There are many people who are single parents today. Due to divorce or death of a spouse or for other reasons. As a mother who is in that position, I would like to share some insights as a single mother. Because it's not just a person who has to manage a family and work. I manage my family as a single mother also. I thought that would be personal to share here, much more than anything. I encourage, the fact that single parents have to go through a difficult path raising children due to the pressures of social structure has to be seen legally and psychologically also. It must be said that men have different problems in raising a child alone. They do have certain issues as, single parent. I encourage the people who were raised by single parents to share about the painful path they have gone through, so that it will shed some light to many single children raised by many single parents. The same I would say that the surrounding society should at least move away from patriarchal thinking. In the life of tribals, there is a social environment where children of single parents are not affected in any way. The entire village raise the children together. A child of a single parent can go and eat or sleep in any house. The collective parenting of the tribe looks like a boon for a single mother like me. I have seen this with my own eyes when I went to visit Vachati for my research work. We must understand that just as every human being has a unique fingerprint, so too does everyone's living environment. Therefore, the same approach does not apply to all family environments. Another important thing is that Children are definitely the ones who are affected by the mental distress of their parents, either they are single parent or not, even if it is not directly. An important fact here is that most of those who are parents today are also mentally affected by their parents' trauma in their childhood. This is a chain of violence that continues without our knowledge. Children are our protectors, and at the same time, they are the ones who are completely dependent on us, defenseless in front of us. A very calm approach is needed to handle that situation. That kind of calmness and comfort is not always given by relatives, really sadly to say, or society will never give single parents. We have to break the chain ourselves. The best way I have found it on my own too is to talk to the child no matter what. I think it is good to share our true situation with them, at least a little bit. The truth we tell them has the potential to be the first step in them trusting us, because even our child, whether we want to believe it or not, has their own thinking power. I struggled to convince my son that I would not leave him like I divorced his father. I was confused as to why he did not understand what everybody around me understood, that he was important to me. No one is to blame for this. I did not analyze what reasons he had for thinking this way. Once when I went late to pick him up from the school, he was crying intolerably. He was 10 years old when this happened. The reason he said for crying was, I was afraid that something happened to you too, because you didn't come today on time, because you always keep your word and come at the time you say. That to you too is the important word I took from that. No one can predict what kind of fears or mental problems they fear. A period of not knowing how to express it will turn into a trauma. We cannot expect another child in the same economic and social strata as my son to have the same fears and traumas. But I realize that certain approaches can create a good bond with our children. I also feel that this applies to our spouses, partners also. I have realized that no matter how much we restrict or scold the children from morning to night, there will be fights, there will be tears. It is good for the mental health of children to tell them a story, a joke, crack a joke before going to the bed and make them laugh before they fall asleep. I always tell this to every parent I meet, whether they are single or still married, and it is actually proven by the psychologist. When a child fears you the whole day, at the end of the day, you make the child laugh and sleep. He will sleep with a happy mind. Everyone thinks that the choices that single parents make for themselves should be child-centered. I don't think so. The behavior of the women who are not like that is mostly blamed. Motherhood is just one dimension of me. And women should understand that accepting our other identities freely and without any guilt will pave the way for our children to grow up to be unique, respectful of everyone's choices, and be independent. No family teaches this to a woman who's standing alone with a child. Instead, we see them talking about carrying their child on their backs until they are old enough by the mothers. I will conclude by saying one thing in particular. This is my observation. In the other areas, I do not know if this is true, but I would like to share. This is about reading by women. The scholar T. Paramasivam mentions in an article that the Jains were the ones who spread books and knowledge on this earth. The word school, Palli in Tamil itself came from Jains, Samanargal. Similarly, the word college, Kalluri, also came from them. The Jains would hold a ritual of learning every year. In those days, there were no books. They would copy everything that was written on the scrolls. There was no printing press at that time. Everyone would copy what was in the scrolls as sometimes told them to. This was called Jnana Puse, ritual of ritual of learning. Love for learning, maybe. The Bhakti movement that destroyed Jains and Buddhism began in the 7th century had lasted until 12th century. This is celebrated in history by a section of people as the rise of the Saivas and Vaishnavas. However, it was only after the Jains and Buddhism were destroyed and 8,000 Jains were killed that the name of Anbe Shivam was established in history. At that time, they destroyed the Jains and Buddhist symbols from the very beginning. In the Sangha period, Sangam literature, 44 women poets were there. Women's education was a natural thing in Sangam period. After that, women's education declined. Women poets did not emerge. The reason for that was the Bhakti literature period. During this period, women were relegated to the second level. During this period, there were no other women poets except Karaikal Ammayar and Andal who were associated with Bhakti. Only now, women poets and writers have started emerging. This is not a normal thing. Throughout the Bhakti literature period, women's knowledge was not respected and they were made subservient to men. History does not say that women were subservient to men at all times. If we read the history of mankind, we will see that mankind was a matriarchal society. If we open the doors of a book, we will find that we are looking for. That is what is important. All mankind is offsprings of one mother. That is what science says also. Caste, religion, God, everything came in between. We are fighting with what came in between. So there is this beautiful knowledge seeking exercise which happened in 1935, the Backhorse Library Project. Between 1935 and 1943, there was work of progress management project, delivered books to remote areas of Appalachian mountains. Eventually, the project consisted of 30 different libraries serving 1 lakh of people, and it was done by the women. They were involved in this project, riding the horses, braving the climates, and distributing the books. The role of women in the work of knowledge is very important. We have to see that as an essential work to be understood and remembered. What got me here without a college degree was reading books and working for equality. And I thank and I love to everyone who made that possible. The books I read, the teachings of many teachers, reformists, their teachings brought me here. So I realize reading, taking a book and reading is not that much popular in women because we find it very, very difficult to balance our work and family matters. And where is the time to read a book? But we can manage it if we put our hearts to it, is what I feel. Change doesn't happen automatically. It has to be brought by us, women, to lead it as always. These are the words I wanted to share with you on a person who had juggled between single parenting and bringing up a child and my work. It was not easy. I know that it is not easy for you too, but you have been doing it very well. I don't see that, many women do not want to let go of the power on the kitchen. We should actually remove that idea of like, kitchen is my kingdom. It's okay if somebody else enters into the kitchen and makes that cup of coffee. When we arrive back from the work and offers that hot cup of coffee, that will make us more happier with and also establish many beautiful relationship between the family members, I feel. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to come and share my thoughts and my journey with my son as a single parent. And I wish you that this is the 50th year I had, and I really feel proud to stand in front of you where this Tamil Nadu police, women police are hailed as the best. I may not say that, is it right or not, but I have seen this, like 1 year maternity leave is not happening in not many states, I think. So in that way we are pioneers in that thinking, and I really appreciate all the work you put in for this society. It's selfless. I salute you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rohini ma'am. We know that you weren't made for easy roads or small dreams. You are made for growth that challenges you, for dreams that scare you, and for victories that rewrite your story. Keep moving, keep becoming. You're not done yet. You're just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of Rohini ma'am's life is completely different and very, very important to all of us. She had taken her life and work as the way she balanced between her work and life is something which we all need to learn from her. Thus, we selected her as a guest speaker to ensure that you all get the benefit of her. Now I request Srishti to read the names of the achievers. Srishti Singh will read the names of the achievers, and before that I request Seema ma'am to kindly come and present the memento to our speaker. I request DGP, Fire and Rescue Service, the architect of today's conference, to present a memento to Madam Rohini. Present it as a token of love and appreciation. Madam. We also request IGP from BPR&D to kindly come onto the dais and present the memento. May we request Rohini ma'am to kindly accept the memento. I request Srishti Singh to read the citation of the outstanding achievers.
Let us welcome our two young women achievers, Inspector Ncwp and Baman Yakun, Women Police Station, Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh. These two women have worked effortlessly in rescuing traffic girls from northeast, various corners of India, busting major trafficking ring. Inspector Ncwp has received DGP commendation in 2024. These girls are inspirational role models for the police force and youth of Arunachal Pradesh. Also, these two women officers are posted in Women Police Station Itanagar, which is first ISO certified women police station in Arunachal Pradesh. Please, we welcome both women to the stage.
I now request DGP ma'am to kindly present a memento to this outstanding achiever. They have come all the way from Northeast. Thank you, Rupa. Thank you, ma'am. She'll present it to honor your achievements. Now I request Dr. S. Indra Sudha, NCRB, to make a presentation. Ma'am, the time given to you is 15 minutes.
Good afternoon to you all. It is my honor to present my presentation to the most wonderful and colorful audience here who came up from all over the country to attend the 11th Conference of Women in Police. Having already been working, managing office dynamics along with life challenges is a known fact for you. You must be here doing the work wonderfully, managing work and life together. So you are here already because you already know the facts, how to manage both the things, office and family together. When we start our day, we plan, visualize our day, thinking that we'll proceed our activities one by one. I have not yet changed the slide, so don't get confused. So visualize our activities, we plan to start with action A. But when we start working, when we go to the office, something suddenly comes up. There is a sudden meeting, or you have to go somewhere, or there is an emergency at home. So you shift to plan B. Then you shift to plan C if it doesn't work out. For example, my mother had an operation that was scheduled on Monday. And doctor, I met her on Friday. Everything was quite normal. She said, tomorrow you have to go for a pre-anesthesia test. And I had a lecture scheduled from the office that I have to go and visit the university and give the lectures. I am a director of Central Fingerprint Bureau, so I have to give the lecture in the forensic domain. So how am I going to cope up? So I had to shift to plan B then, because that plan A, my husband, he was not there, he was out of station. So I had to shift to plan B. Maid refused, Didi nahi ho sakta kaam. Then plan C, all of a sudden I thought, okay, I'll seek the help of my friend. Because it's a matter of 2 hours, I'll be going to give the lecture and I'll immediately come back. So that is how we have to schedule, plan A, plan B, plan C. It is not that you are doing it. I am just giving you an example from my own life. What happens if we do not deliver? If we fail on achieving that work-life balance, we find ourselves guilty. If my friend did not help, then I would have said, oh, what happened? Ab main kya karoon? My mother has to undergo the anesthesia test, without which I cannot go for an operation. So it has worked, so it was okay. Otherwise, I would be feeling guilty throughout the day and I would not be able to deliver my lecture at the place. So what is the impact that happens if we fail to deliver? We find ourselves in such a situation where you have mental and emotional health involved. You won't be able to perform whatever work you are doing. You are under stress and anxiety. You have to go to you have to manage 2 things or 3 things. Then you have to have certain peace of mind when you are doing your work. You need to have at least 50% presence of the mind when you are doing the work. So you will be having stress and anxiety if you are unable to do it. Physical health, when you are finding that you are not able to deliver the product that you have to do, then you have your stomach would be responding, you would be finding some kind of dizziness or some kind of illness would happen. So you have digestive issues, you would have weakened immunity, and when it happens a lot, then either you shift to some kind of substance abuse and all that. So these are certain have impacts that happen on an individual. What happens to the organization that you are working with? You would not be delivering properly. You have a meeting. You have to supposed to deliver something by the time. So you would not be able to deliver. So it would be decreased productivity. Then you would be increased turnover. You are not happy because you have a lot of pressure in the job. So you would like to leave the job and move on. You would have reduced job satisfaction. You are not able to do it. So you would be having, organization would be saying, this person is not good. So similar, when you are not well, you will be giving the organization healthcare issues, you would be falling leave often, absenteeism, all these things would crop up. Now, what you have to decide first is burning the candle at both the ends. Like, are you thinking seriously, managing both the things? Are you working properly? It is not an easy thing to do it. According to 24 UN report, 82% of the white-collar jobs people, 82% of them had burnouts, whereas in India it was 58 to 62%. It is also a good number to say that burnout because people were tired, they were not able to deliver. So you have to understand how you want to do it. You need to have, everyone has 24 hours, so you also have 24 hours. So you have to plan your day properly so that you can do it correctly. Change your life one step at a time. It is not that you have to take a leap. You don't have to take a big leap. Change your planning step by step. It is very hard. For example, if you want to go for a walk, that is because that is for your health. You have to do it. If you want to go for a walk, you cannot go for 1 hour walk. Split it into 5 minutes, 10 minutes, walk in your corridor itself, but do it seriously. So then it will become a routine for you. You have to understand yourself. There have been people in my organization. I have come across many other girls also, those who are not very serious about this. You just have to think. In the career graph, there are two things in that. One is yourself along with your family. Yourself means your care, your health, your exercise, and your religious commitments, whatever are they. Second comes your family, your friends, all other things that are a part of it. That is your life structure. Then you have your work, where you have to go and deliver, and you have to perform. Are you really thinking seriously about doing the job? My friends, they are there. I have seen some of them. What they do is they take up the job. They simply refuse all the promotions. They simply stay at the lower level. Just, I'll be doing only my work. I'll not take up any other for the promotion. Under such conditions, is it okay to work? I don't understand. I am a very ambitious person. If I am given a work, I'll be doing 24 hours. I don't mind. I'll just shift the timings according to my convenience. I'll be doing the work. I'll come home. I'll bring the work home. I'll bring it in pen drive. I'll bring it on Google. So I'll shift the work. I'll take out time and I'll try to do it so that I'm okay and I'm perfectly doing the work. At the same time, when I'm working in the office, I plan the schedule so that I can meet deadlines also, so that I can look after the students, look after my children, my family, and operations, and other things. So are you really serious? If you have to go for a walk, you have to schedule it. So that is how you have to plan. You have to consider yourself, what actually you want. Don't try to be a super mom like super madam, or don't to be a super mother. You are a person, don't try to burn the candle from both the sides. You are the only family, you are the only person for your children, you are the only mother. So there cannot be a replacement. You have to think that. Don't become another Anna Sebastian. We already have seen that because of higher pressure, because she has been so much concentrated in her work that she had a burnout and she collapsed and she could not survive after that. So we don't want to be another Anna Sebastian. So we have to have a proper setting so that you work. Know your priorities. Decide on your priorities, what you want to do. Plan your activities properly, whether it is house, Whether it is children, whether it is your friends, or whether it is office. You have to plan your activities. The first thing when I go to office, I make a list of the works that I am going to do today. Then I call upon the people. Then I tell them that these are the things I want to be delivered by the evening. Same thing, I put a sticker on my fridge. Okay, this is the work for X, this is the work for Y, and this is the work for Z. So by the evening, I know it is not always easy to get the work done at home. Children and husband, they take you for granted and they won't do the work. But at least ek bar, do bar, teen bar, then they will do the work when they know that you are persisting about it. There are challenges. Yes, accept the challenges in your work. During one conference time, we also hold conferences. I being the director of Central Fingerprint Bureau, we keep having conferences and fingerprints. So when we are holding the conferences, at one of the conferences, it was required that we give the press releases, we give the press notes and all. So our director sir said, who would be doing the work? Nobody wanted to raise the hand. So they said, okay, Sudha will do the work. That was entirely new department for me. It was a challenge thrown at to me all of a sudden. I said, okay, sir, I'll do it. I went and I found out how a press release is made, how a press note is made. Then once I have done it very wonderfully, next time when the conference happened, 4 or 5 people said, "Hum kar lenge, sir. Itna mushkil kaam nahi hai. When madam has done it, hum kar lenge." But what they did not understand is I have borrowed the knowledge from somebody else. मैंने मेहनत किया, उसके ऊपर मैंने काम किया. Then only I could do that. So if you think it is just a cup of, it is such a easy thing कि हम लेके मैडम से knowledge लेंगे, मैडम से note लिखवा लेंगे, हम कर लेंगे. It is not so easy. So when the challenge is thrown at you, take it as a challenge and you work it on. Yes, you are capable of doing it, but thoda time dena padta. You have to go extra mile. As we have been hearing from morning, yes, you have to go an extra mile to deliver the product. Next, time management. Yes, shopping online. Now most of us doing all these things. Cancel unnecessary things that you have kept in your schedule. We have to visit. Just find out which is very important. Plan in advance. Like if you have to go somewhere else, plan in advance so that your leaves and all this, they do not clash. And calendar creation. You keep a calendar. So what is happening next? What is happening next? So you have to manage the time. Whenever you are free in the office or whenever you are free at home, you just manage the things that you have that have to be done. Share your work or delegate your work. Everyone who has joined the service, he has to earn his bread. You are not going to do the work for him. Once or twice they refuse. Even my DSPs, they come and say, "Ma'am, falana kaam nahi karta hai. मैं उसके साथ काम नहीं कर सकता." Or they come and say, "Ma'am, वो lady काम नहीं करती है, मैं उसको लूँगा नहीं." मैंने कहा, if the girl refuses, bring her to me. मैं पूछूंगी जॉब में क्यों आई है, पहली बात. काम नहीं करना है, what is the issue? There must be some issue, if she is not doing the work. Similarly, ऐसा कोई नहीं है कि काम नहीं करता है. You have to tell them the way they can listen. एक बार, 2 बार नहीं तो कभी तो शर्म आएगी, करेंगे ना. So you have to delegate the work. And no micromanaging. I tell them the work in the morning. I ask them, these are the things that I expect and these are the things that I want. This is the deadline. I am not going to do any micromanaging from the starting to the end. Hear and learn. Combine chores. When you are walking, if you want to listen something, you can do that. While I am traveling, I travel by metro. So most of the time when I am traveling by metro, I utilize the time for listening to some lectures or some developments that are happening in my field or some other videos that come up. So I try to combine the things instead of going for comedy or other things. Set boundaries. You will be doing the work of all if you do not set up a boundary. Either it be home or office or anywhere. You have to set a boundary. Even you have to set a boundary for yourself that you have to get up in the morning, go for a walk, at least 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever be. You have to give a target to yourself. You have to, otherwise you would be ending up doing the work of entire office and you would not be given any kind of recognition. Enjoy your work. Take pride in what kind of work you are doing. Once if you have entered the organization, do some kind of work, that means you have liked the work to join it. और आपने इतना साल उसमें टाइम दिया, इसका मतलब है you have liked the work to stay on. Okay? I'm not telling something new, but these are the things that we have to bring into our system. Learn how to say no. This is a bit difficult task when it is in organization. We have many of the people, they shift the responsibility. No sir, ये मेरा काम नहीं है, ये उसका काम है. या they simply say नहीं आता है मुझे. Okay, they try to say that. But you have to say sometimes no when it is not possible. If you are overloaded with 3-4 things, then you cannot deliver. Yeah, I'm keeping it short. Just keeping it short. Nurture relationships. Take time out for everyone. Have downtime, as I said, to recharge. Consider your finances. Instead of going for higher budgets or bigger budgets, plan your finances. Exercise, as I said, fresh oxygen is also important for your work. Stop putting pressure on yourself and stop feeling guilty. If you are not able to achieve something, don't feel guilty. You are not a super mom. Okay, don't become a super mom because your children will not have mom afterwards. Focus on your health. Few more slides. Like HR team, I said, this is the administration team or the team that we have in the office. Plan activities so that your family is also involved. Being empathetic towards employees. Like if you are doing some work and if you are not healthy, in our office, like we have a sick room, we have a sick bay, and we have a creche facility and all, so that children also can be brought to office. Providing flexi work culture. Sometimes we ask them to come late, sometimes we ask them to go early if there is some issues. Effective communication system. Involve employees in organizational development work. So whenever there is some extra activity being planned, involve them so that they are motivated. Regular health checkup camps. We organize our welfare team, they organize regular health checkup camps so that they are motivated and they have proper health care during the time. What are the benefits to the organization? Improved performance. The person who is healthy, he would be working better and he would be giving better performance. Increased productivity, enhanced relationship, no chick body in the office. People would be doing their work properly. Better mental health. If the person is healthy, then he would be giving a better mental health and he would be giving the productivity better. And employees leaving the office would be less and reputation would be building up. If what are the better effects of work-life balance? The individual is happy, then he would be having less reduced stress and improved well-being. He would be taking care of himself, and if he is taking care of himself, then he would automatically take care of his family as well. Then he would be able to manage the time better and increase focus. These are some of the support apps that I have found which would help in to solve the burnout problems. Ultimately, I would like to say, I have read a book, Shaken, Stirred, Still Standing. It is about all the women who are working, wherein they are dealing with breakfast, the table to the boardroom meetings. They are able to handle all the things together. So it is all about the working women. So I think you all can go through that. Shaken, stirred, and still standing. Ride the tide rather than avoiding the storm. I would like to conclude with the quotation, never become so busy making a living that you forget to make a life for yourself. I thank BPRNT, Tamil Nadu Police, and all of you for organizing this wonderful conference. Good day and Jai Hind. Thank you all.
Love your life, love your job.
Okay? Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a very clear and crisp presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, a male officer was called to make a presentation on work-life balance. He said we adopt A, B, C and D technique. So we were wondering what that A, B, C, D technique means. A is to avoid, B is to bypass, C is to confuse, D is to delegate back to your wife. So this is what happens when you have fight for a work-life balance with your better half. But then the pain we face has not disappeared. Only thing is we have started learning to live with it. The next speaker now here is Sagarika Nath from SP Odisha. May I request her to present? Ma'am, your time is 10 minutes. Please stick to your timing.
Thank you, ma'am. At the outset, I would like to thank BPR&D and Tamil Nadu Police for organizing this meet and for including this very important topic, work-life balance. Sudha ma'am has made my job a lot easier. She has touched upon most of the topics. So I would be running through and just focusing on very specific issues which concern us as police officers and are directly related to our line of work. I'd like... my entire presentation is very short, it's just 6 slides. So we'd be thinking and discussing about first the basic conflict, which is between our personal and professional life. Then we would look about how this differences and this issue, the imbalance, is affecting us professionally and how is it affecting us personally. Then particularly how and what are the challenges that we as police officers face, we would be discussing about that, and how to particularly balance work and life in policing, and ultimately what we all want to do is prevent a burnout, so how do we actually prevent burnouts. The eternal conflict, the eternal dilemma of being a career woman or a homemaker. Like Sudha ma'am just said, let's not be a super mom. Let's focus on our job at hand. Today morning we have had multiple speakers speak about it, and in a very specific topic, that's mainstreaming and career growth, Ms. Srimati from HCL had said there is actually no balance. She's right. There's actually no balance. It's a constant juggle. But we have to understand that when the juggler is juggling those multiple balls on his hands, his eyes are always focused on one particular ball. At one point of time, he looks at one particular ball. That's exactly how our work-life balance should be. At one particular time, we should be focused on one particular aspect of our life, be it motherhood, or be it our profession, be it looking after our family, or be it giving our 100% at our job. Our eyes should be focused just like Arjun's eyes were focused on that eye of the fish. We should be concentrated and focused in a similar way. Only then this eternal conflict of doing justice to either of the huge spheres of our life can be actually achieved. What happens if we do not have balance in our professional life? This is basically a circle. I represented it as a circle because you can start anywhere and you will go on rotating and rotating. It's a vicious circle. When you do not have work-life balance, your performance is poor. When your performance is poor, everybody doubts your competence because they say, this person doesn't perform. And when they doubt your confidence, they do not give you important jobs. They put you on trivial tasks, they put you on things which do not actually matter. And when they put you on trivial tasks, but inside you are very confident you can actually do better job, you know you can do better, you are capable of better, you have studied, you have worked hard, you have qualified the same set of examination to be here, and you deserve to do better. But when you are put on trivial jobs, there is no capacity building through the job, there is no learning per se through the job, because of which there is ultimately no motivation to deliver. And when there is no motivation to deliver, automatically we come back to the first point, which is your performance becomes poor. And this vicious cycle continues to execute itself. It goes on and on and on. So it's all of our job to somehow try and break through this cycle. And what happens in our personal life when we do not have work-life balance? Obviously, we'll have strained relationship, because what we face at job, particularly with policing as a job with high risk, lot of stress, anxiety, a lot of negativity, dealing with criminals every day, and when we go back and we want some peace of our mind, we cannot expect somebody who is actually not doing the job to understand the stress that you actually go through. And this at times leads to strained relationship. And obviously, since you are constantly stressing, you have anxiety, you have declined health, and ma'am had already listed out a lot of things that how the health is declining, so I'll not go into it in more detail. You have loss of identity, because you are performing a job, you are performing at your home, both the places, you are in your head, you are giving your best. Because obviously nobody wants to give less than their best, right? So all of you are giving your 100% both at your workplace and at your houses. But you're not appreciated at your job, and you're not appreciated at your home. And in both of these situations, there is ultimately a loss of identity at a personal level, that what the hell am I doing? Where am I? Where do I fit in? I'm not fitting in here, I'm not fitting in there. What exactly am I supposed to do with my lives? And ultimately all of this leads to a poor quality of life, because you are yourself unhappy. And when the one person is yourself, if myself I'm unhappy, the aura around me, the energy around me, the things and places and environment around me is ultimately unhappy. So ultimately it is leading to burnout. So when we talk about the real challenges that particularly in policing we face, till now whatever I said almost was same for both the genders, but particularly when we talk about policing, we have 4 important factors which is actually contributing to somewhat disbalance of this equilibrium and not empowering us to actually achieve this work-life balance. The first and foremost would somewhat be a lack of supportive environment, because right from the beginning till today, if we see about our books, if we see about our movies, our Bollywood movies or anything, most of the time policing is a masculine job. That's the idea that is being given, that's the idea that has been pushed on us, and on a repeated culture, if it keeps on going, the environment becomes so vicious that whenever we try to seek support, we do not find that, so it's a lack of supportive environment. And obviously there is gender bias. We have come a long way. Like, before putting this point here, let me please elaborate that we have come a long way in challenging this gender bias. We have had many leaders in our sphere who have broken this glass ceiling, and that is exactly why so many of us are sitting here today and listening to so many speakers over here. There have been many gracious speakers before me who have talked about it. There have been leaders, there have been 4 front runners, but still, to prove oneself in any sphere, still today, the woman has to give, instead of 100%, 150% of the energy that is needed, because 1, you have to do the job right, 2, you have to do the job better than anybody else, only then you are assumed to be at an equal parallel to everybody else. So that's the challenge that we have to face also. And of course in policing we have no specific hours. I'd just like to ask a question. How many of you who have a field policing kind of role have had a day off in a week, like a Sunday or a Saturday? Any raise of hands? See, we have no raise of hands. So since there is absence of specific hours of work, how do we plan our time? How do we put a time sheet? I was just talking to some of my seniors here, and she told me that In 4 years, last year was the first time that she took a 10 days off. I mean, in 4 years, 10 days off for the first time, it's surprising. So that's the level of challenge we have in policing, because of course we understand that we are at the cusp of everyday law and order, managing a lot of bandobast, managing a lot of regular duties and attending to crime and criminal situations, and that gives us very less time for actually ourselves. And that is exactly where the family responsibilities suffer. So what can actually we do about it? Because obviously problems are many. We can keep on elaborating it, listing it out, and so many things can be done. But what actually, from a policing point of view, I suggest that we should be doing is, first, obviously we need a supportive work environment, and for that we need, unpopular opinion here, we need more men in women conferences. So so that being said, so more men should be discussing about how we should actually be helping in women empowerment. So yeah, obviously we'll need to work on our mental health. Since the topic of mental health has come, I'd like to elaborate a lot, and I would like to thank Tamil Nadu Police particularly for having come up with such an excellent idea. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Magilchi. Thank you. Mental well-being program, and Odisha Police also has a similar program, but why I'm really appreciative of Tamil Nadu Police for this is because it has funding support inbuilt in it, which Odisha Police is yet to do. We have a program called Ncwp. It's called Mental Health and Life Skills for Police. It's being run by the Commissionerate Police in coordination with the Indian Psychiatric Society. And mental health is such a huge aspect of whatever we are doing. Today, you know, the NCRB data suggests that per day we are having 468 suicides in our country. It's a 4.2% rise in 1 year. It's alarming. It's alarming, and we should really be focused on how better we can actually manage the mental health of people around us, because again, I'd like to ask one more question. How many of you have actually felt that either you personally or somebody very close to you is actually in need of some kind of mental counseling? But how many of you or the friend or the family member that you know of has actually gone for any kind of mental counseling? I see just one raise of hands. So, I mean, thank you and hats off to whosoever has done that. And I really appreciate this idea, because we really do not do this. I was SP Balasore, and I think most of you must have heard about the triple train accident that happened, the Coromandel Express, in which 288 people lost their lives. I was the SP at that point of time, running the command center. And soon after that event, this is the first thing that we did. We opened an anonymous helpline for mental health counseling for our personnel, because the number of dead bodies that they saw that day on the ground was crazy. And we had to actually, there were times like I personally had to burn off the uniform that I was wearing because it was so bloodied. And so obviously people do need help, and we forget to ask for help most of the times, and this is really something which we all should be working on. Obviously we need mentorship and guidance. There should be flexibility in scheduling so that all of us are accommodated in the areas that we have, and there should be obviously understanding of family commitments. There are times that I have heard that people boast that I didn't even take 1 day leave when one of my very close family member passed away. I'm sorry, I do not agree with this idea. Again, unpopular opinion. We must understand that family is a very, very vital part of our lives, and we do need to spend time with them. And obviously respect for personal time, self-care, me time. I think it's a very Gen Z kind of concept, but we must accept that me time is also necessary so that we actually recharge. Unless we recharge, we cannot give our best at our jobs. So obviously we need team bonding. That's exactly what all of us are doing here today. Team bonding. We need mentorship. There has to be good people leading us, showing us the ways. We need to work smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound rather than working hard. We must work smart. There should be wellness, which is basically the mental health that I was talking about. Obviously, we should have public recognition. I'm glad that Tamil Nadu Police could identify people and reward them on this stage today who have done great work in their own fields. And of course, last part, which is leave. We should have leave because without leaves, without vacation time, we cannot recharge and we cannot do justice to this. And finally, what Sudha ma'am had already told, I'd like to just repeat and reinforce on this idea. Everywhere I go for a Women's Day conference, this is the image that I see every time. A woman with 6 to 8 hands and holding a laptop in one, a balloon in one, a dryer in one, or something random things. I would ask everybody of you, how many of you have 6 hands? Please raise. Nobody has 6 hands, right? So please, let's ask for help. We need to ask for help. If we do not ask for help, if we do not go for self-care, if we do not set our boundaries, if we do not delegate, both at work and at home, if we do not communicate, we need to be clear. Our assertiveness cannot be construed wrongly. It should not be assumed to be aggressive. We need to be assertive, not aggressive. We need to be putting our foot down. And for putting our foot down, we should not be told that it's that time of the month, probably she has gone mad. So let's do all these things and manage our time well, and only if we are able to do all these things with some sense of responsibility towards our work and as well as our family, I'm pretty sure that we will be able to juggle all our balls properly so that we can actually achieve some semblance of work-life balance. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Sagarika. Well said and well researched. A psychologist said, a relationship these days aren't easy. You enter as a normal person and come out as a mental patient. So this is what is happening these days, that everybody has to decide their life, think about the life, decide what your life partner has to do and what are the expectations. Work-life balance is not easy, but as said in Tamil, iduvum kadandu pogum, iduvum kadandu pogum. May I now request IG BPRND to kindly present the memento to our speakers, please. Sagarika receiving the shield. Well presented, Sagarika. Congratulations. Doctor receiving the shield. Thank you, ma'am. It was really good. The coordinator will now sum up. She's been given just 2 minutes. A patient waiting, please.
Guest speaker, Tirumadi Rohini, actor, and delegates, Dr. Indra Sudha, director, NCRB, Sagarika Nath, SP Odisha, have expressed their views on work-life balance in a very organized and thoughtful manner. Tirumadi Rohini Madam mentioned the problems faced by working women in managing both their family and job responsibilities as an individual, the hardships that arise from it. Equality, she specially mentioned about equality, single parent, that is single mother, and also noted that children of tribal communities, the hill-dwelling communities are not affected such issues because they are raised in support of joint families. She explained clearly how to balance life and work effectively. How to elevate our thoughts and goals in a way that leaves a mark in public life. While speaking, Dr. Ncwp clearly stated, living as individuals must take care of their mental and emotional health. Otherwise, it will affect the productivity of the organization they work for. Everyone should know how to balance their life and equally understand their priorities and make use of their time by planning it properly. While speaking, SP Sagarika said that all these points which was said by Dr. Ncwp align with the fact that the lack of supportive working environment is a challenge for police personnel. Therefore, she stated supportive that environment, care of mental health and overall well-being are essential. From their speech, the following points are as resolutions. The dual responsibilities women officers manage at both work and home should be acknowledged without bias and supported wherever possible. The implementation of more flexible rostarian arrangements should be explored to enhance operational efficiency and police personnel well-being. Provision of crush facilities should be ensured in establishments with a substantial presence of women officers. Then supportive work, environment care for mental health and overall well-being are essential. Last but not least, providing flexi work culture. Thank you.
Thank you, Kailvili. We will open the floor for discussion. We will be taking 3 questions because you have culturals and dinner, and the dinner here today is going to be from Madambatti Rangarajan, one of a very famous caterer, and the spread is going to be bigger than what you had today in the afternoon. So I think we will restrict to 3 questions and then enjoy the dinner and culturals. Can we have the questions, please? I think work life has been equally balanced to you. So you don't need any other balance. Okay, then I think I have got no more questions. If at all you have, please do write and give it to us. We will include in our session. So on behalf of Tamil Nadu Police, I thank one and all the speakers for having made it very important and very useful. Thank you. Tomorrow's session starts at 10 o'clock. We request all of you to be present here by 9:50. Thank you. Culturals at 7 o'clock, culturals and dinner at 7 o'clock at the hangar. That is the place that you had lunch. Yeah, the place where you had lunch and enjoyed. Please.